Hi. Yeah, I'm so thankful that you agreed to do this with me. Yeah, so like I said in the email, I am a first-year graduate student at UNC, and I'm currently working under Dr. ASMR, and he would like me to try and complete my first ever cranial nerve exam. And you responded to the email asking if you could be a participant, and so now we're here. Yeah. Okay. So the first thing I need you to do is just confirm the information that you put in the portal. So if you could let me know your name and your date of birth, and I could just confirm that. Okay, and how old you are. Awesome. And is this your current state of residence that we are in right now? Okay. Have you ever had a cranial nerve exam before? You have, okay. I don't have access to that data since I'm just a graduate student, but it will be good for me to know, and you could provide feedback for me at the end to let me know like how it was or how different it is from the previous exams that you've had. Okay, so can I get a verbal consent from you to continue? Thank you so much. Again, thank you for being willing to participate in this with me. So the first part of our cranial nerve exam today is that we are going to look at your eyesight. So I'm going to write a sentence, and I would like for you to try and read the sentence out loud. All right, can you read this sentence? Perfect. Now I'm going to give you another sentence, but this time the font will be smaller. Okay. Can you read this sentence? Okay. And I'm going to do one more, but because I need it to be a certain size, I'm going to just write a letter and one number. Okay. Can you tell me what this says? Perfect. Okay. So that was visual eyesight in terms of just functional reading, and this is an up-close distance. In my current setting, I don't have the equipment yet to do like long distance like you would need for driving. This was more just for reading. So continuing along with the eyes, I would like to look and measure your color blindness, just to see if you have any color blindness or what scale. So I'm going to hold up a painting. It's actually a painting that I did. And I'm going to point to a color or a part of the painting, and you just need to tell me what color you see. Okay, so here is the painting. Okay, so what is this color? Okay, what is this color? What is this color? What image do you see here? Okay. And what color is the frame? Have you ever been told that you've ever been colorblind? Okay, my findings I would say are consistent with that. So no change in your level of colorblindness. Okay, Let me put my picture frame away. Okay, so we did reading and we did color blindness. Next, I would like to see how your eyes track. So here I have a light. There are two lights. And I'm going to first just shine them in your eyes, and then I'm going to take an up close look so I can get kind of like a 2 light distance, okay? It is probably a little uncomfortable to have this in your eyes, but if you could just bear with me, that'd be great. Okay, so here is my base, and now I'm going to come in with my pen light. Okay, now we're going to go for the other eye. Now I'm going to do the same thing without my backlights. Okay, now we want the other eye. Okay, let me just document that. I'm curious if I can do this light on this eye, if I do the pen light on this eye, if I will be able to see any differences. Okay, so I'm going to put just this light on. Now I'm going to pen light the other eye. Okay, and I'll do the same thing for the other eye. Did you have any discomfort when we were doing that? Okay. All right, I think we're done with the neck light. I am going to use the pen light again, and this time as the pen light comes into your vision, I'd like you to keep your head still, and you're just going to track it with your eyes. Okay? All right. All right, now you're just going to move your eyes. Okay, that was very good. Okay, I believe that is the end of the eyesight portion. All right, so next we're going to go down the face to smell. So inside this box, I have a couple different essential oils that I'm going to have you smell, and you need to tell me what smell you think you're smelling. Okay. Okay. And this one's actually a pretty tough one. Oh, I'm not a fan of this one. Okay, I'm going to document. Have you ever had issues with your sense of smell in the past? For example, sometimes like when people had COVID, they couldn't smell or taste. Or have you ever had people around you say something about a smell and you find that you can't smell it? Okay. Those were a little bit of a difficulty for you, so it might just be something to keep your eye on. All right, so that was eyes, and we did nose. Next, we're going to do a little bit of a brain puzzle. So this is just to kind of see like your cognitive functioning at this point. So I have a bunch of dice. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to hold up 2 dice, and I need you to add them in your head and tell me what their total number of dots are. So for example, if I showed you this and this die, your answer would be 7. Okay. So here is your first pair. Okay. What if I gave you these? That was perfectly fine. It wasn't meant to be overly tricky, but just to see how quick you're able to do kind of like a basic math fact. All right, so for the next segment, I'm going to have you just kind of take deep breaths as you normally would breathe. So maybe not necessarily deep breaths, but I just want you to breathe for about 10 seconds. And I'm going to document what your breathing pattern is. So let me reset it. Okay, so you're just breathing normal. And I'm going to start documenting it, okay? Okay, just going to document your number. Now I'll reset this. Okay. For the next part, I'm going to be putting some gloves on because it's going to involve some tactile portion. Is that okay? Okay. So this next portion of the cranial nerve exam is called sharp or dull testing. So what I'm going to do is I have this instrument which has a pokey side, which you can see it's pokey but like I'm not bleeding, and it has a dull side. So I am going to press either the sharp or the dull into your arm, and you have to tell me if you think it was sharp or dull. For this, I am going to have you close your eyes. Okay? You understand? Okay, so close your eyes. All right, here is the first one. Awesome. That was dull. Yep. Good. Sharp. Sharp again. Alright, your answers are very good for the sharp and the dull test. This is a lot about sensation in the arms and the extremities. If there were any sort of difficulties or problem areas, that might be something that I would recommend you go to a neurologist for. Okay. Then for the last part of the exam, I have a massage item, and I'm going to push it onto your face, and I just need to see how your facial muscles react to the sensation. Okay? Should not be painful by any means. Okay, so I'd close your eyes. All right, here you go. Okay, awesome. Wasn't painful, right? Okay, let me just document the sharp and dull and the face massage. Okay, so I believe that brings me to the end of the cranial nerve exam that I had planned. Okay? Did you have any questions for me? Okay, then the last thing I'm going to need from you is I'm going to need a signature, just consenting that this happened and that you did actually come and participate so that I can show my professor. Okay, then I will leave this here with you, and you know where the exit was? Okay, perfect. Thank you again for helping me.